Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Custom. So today I'm sharing with you a Sideshow premium format Star Wars Ventress statue. Now, I don't know how to say her first name. I know you guys know who the statue is, so we're just going to leave it at that. But this was a lot of fun, this statue. I was giving this to a client at Jersey Fest in 2015, so Jersey Fest 2016 is coming up, and I wanted to make sure I could finish it so I can meet him up with him and hand it to him. But throughout the year, I had a lot of, fun actually trying to figure out how am I going to do this statue with taking her cloth off, but actually putting her skirt on and actually have the belt on as well. So it took me a couple months just to sit there and mull over how am I going to do this, how's the idea going to work, and how am I going to get this new skirt on and take off all the cloth. So it took a while, but I got it. I want to break it down for you guys how I did it. It's actually very easy. It worked out perfectly, and the cool thing about it is when you break this statue down, you can add a different skirt if you wanted to. You can actually take off the skirt, and I told my client, I said, if down the line you want to make another skirt that's like battle damaged and all that, you can do that. Now I still have her cloth cape and everything, but I'm not showing that in the video because I just don't even want to deal with that. But he can actually take the cloth cape and put it on like, the regular premium format. But right now we're just leaving it at this. So we'll kind of get a little bit closer. We'll break it all down. But just for the start, as you can see with her head, we didn't touch the regular head. He liked the way it was. He was happy with it, so we left that alone. But with the EX head, I guess it's the EX head, I'm not really sure. We went with the paint up, I guess, of the Clone Wars. So as you can see, I painted up this head. Just gave her eyes, gave her the, I guess it's the tattoos on her head and all that, and that was pretty cool. So that was a lot of fun. We extended her neck guard down a little bit more. I think I sculpted 2 extra ones. We were going to go a third, but it would have been too far, so we didn't go that route. And then after that, once the cloth is off, I sculpted all this cloth, like, detailing sculpt. So I did all these little stretch marks on her, as you can see. Gave all the stretch marks as much as possible. I gave her the line work as well. Let's turn her around. So you can see in the back I did all the little stretch marks as well. And it worked out pretty good. Now her lightsabers are different because the lightsabers that came with this one, I think he got this from somebody that had a broken lightsaber in the front, I think it was. Yeah, it was this one in the front. And what happened was whoever put it in got glue all up and down it, so we couldn't even really salvage it at all. So what he did is these are some plastic rods that he got from somebody else, and what I had to do is I had to just kind of sand down the tips of them and then buff them down. So I got it like rounded at the top because they were just pretty much cut off at the top even. And then I had to rebuild this piece here. This piece was just completely shattered. It was all broken all over in here, so I had to rebuild it as much and best as I can that could actually fit the new saber in there. And then I think this hand is attached to her, or I don't think it was magnetized. So what I had to do is I had to add a magnet to this one. So I put a magnet in here and I put a magnet over there. It goes in pretty well. So that worked out pretty good. And then I sculpted the belt, and I asked the seamstress that I know of if she can sew this new skirt. So I'm going to break her down for you guys right now, and we'll see if we can show you how I designed it. So let me break this down without messing anything up. So the heads come out, the arms are magnetized. So the idea was we wanted to get the skirt on, but it's very hard to have like a sculpted belt because the belt that came with her was very floppy once you take all this cloth off. So we really had to come up with something new. So after mulling it around, I decided let's cut her in half, and then as you can see underneath I made a big thick key with a magnet in it. So put her down, and then in here, let's just take the camera up instead of trying to. So as you can see, I sculpted a key going down there with a magnet. So now what you can do is I asked the seamstress to make me a cloth skirt that's actually stretchy. She did a little stretchiness to it. So now as you see, the body's cut in half. So that was my whole idea all along. So let's put her on the statue without the skirt so you guys can kind of see. So you can kind of see I left gaps underneath there, and I left gaps under there so this way the cloth is not keeping the piece from going down. So it worked out pretty good. So she comes off very easy. Just got to kind of give it a little bit of a push. So I kind of like sanded down in an angle, you know, and then I gave a little notching around here. So we'll get a little bit closer so you can kind of see the notching. So, and then what you do is you take the skirt. Now, like I told him, you can always make another skirt. I saved the pattern, you know, so if you ever wanted to do a battle damage one, maybe you wanted a different color. So it just goes over anywhere you want. So you could kind of put the seam over here a little bit if you wanted to. You know, you could put the seam this way. So you can do whatever you want. You let it just sit here like this, right there in that little gap. And then just pop this in and you let it go down. So it works out pretty good. So this way you can have it cover her leg, or if he wants to, he can have it flop over the leg like that, so she got a layout. So you can have a little fun with it. And that was kind of the idea we came up with. So let me put all these pieces back together. We'll put in the painted head. And we'll put this piece here. And then we'll put this one here. Now I had to glue these sabers in because I'm not really sure if the ones that came with her are detachable. They look like they were, but I couldn't get them back in that way. And these are different plastic, so I kind of had to run with it. And so as far as the belt, what I did was I copied the comic book art that he sent me and some of her drawings, so we kind of went with that route. So what I did was I actually salvaged the circles that came with the original belt, and I salvaged these pieces on the sides, which I think would probably hold the sabers, I guess. I don't really know. And then what I did is I put my own little ring up here, and I sculpted this belt around here first. That goes around the edge. And once that sculpt was done, I sculpted 2 pieces going around each side. Now, the way I did that was I used some cloth around her body, and then I put saran wrap around that, and I put the body on, and then I sculpted these pieces to flop over that. And then once it was all cured, because I used Magic Sculpt, because Magic Sculpt's really tougher, I sanded it down so there's still a gap going around, so everything worked out pretty good. And then after I got it done, he said he wanted to make it like a little bit of a leather look, so I said what we could do is we could paint it that way, because it was very hard to sculpt it this way, because I know in theory you wouldn't really want to do this. You would want to like do it this way and then glue it at the end and be done with it. But this way it was a little bit harder, so it's very hard to do the detailing and everything. But it worked out pretty good in the end. He's happy with it, and I had a lot of fun. Like I said, this was like a brain teaser for a couple months to figure out how to come up with this idea. And once I came up with it, I ran it through him, and he's just like, do your thing. He says he trusts me. And I did it. So I painted up her, you know, her boots again, her legs. I painted up all the blacks, everything. I left this head alone. No, this is a custom head. This one I painted. The regular head I didn't. And then we gave the belt a little bit of a leather. You know, I did some texturizing with some paint. I used like a washcloth you use in a bathroom, but I have a bunch of new cloths that I buy cheap, and you never know when I need to do texturizing on paint. So what you do is you dip this into like the paint, and you just kind of like, it's like sponge painting, except it's with the cloth, and it gives you like a texture. And if you do a couple colors, you get that leather look. So worked out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's a lot of fun, and this was a fun project to really do some really kind of come up there with a really cool idea, and just to kind of be able to break it up and do it. So working with the seamstress was great, because I gave it to her to come up with the belt before I did these 2 pieces here. I had this belt all done, so I figured it would be easier to give it to her then, let her do that, and then I can finish the belt, because I didn't want to actually have her worrying about, you know, breaking this, snapping it, that coming off. It would be easier just to have that piece, and it worked out pretty good. So, you know, she comes in a bunch of different pieces now, but I just kind of want to engineer it my own little way. Hopefully you guys like the way she came out. I really like trying to push my limits with engineering stuff, you know, just really come up with some really cool ideas. And there you go. That is a Star Wars Premium Format Customized Ventress. Like I said, I don't know the first name, but a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys liked the video. Hopefully you guys liked the way I engineered it. It's really cool. You know, I'm pretty sure once he gets into his collection, he can send me some pics and probably look really sweet. And actually, to tell you the truth, these sabers he sent me, I actually like these sabers better than the one that came with it, because the one that came with her are such a deep red. They really don't seem to shine that much. These sabers kind of feel more like the movies. It's got that orangey red look to it, and it's actually a little bit clearer. I don't know. I kind of like these a little bit better. But there you go. That is my little custom on Ventress. Hopefully you guys liked it. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.